Hi, I'm following along with Paul McWhorter's Raspberry Pi lessons. We're on lesson number 51, and it's understanding the HSV color space. Um, he didn't give us any homework this week, but he gave us a lot of information, and I followed along with the AI for Everyone course that he did, so I was familiar with what he was doing, and I wanted to port it over from the PC over to the Raspberry Pi. So pretty much copied what he did here and got it working. Just so I'll be up with him when we do next week. But we can go ahead and get to the code on that. So, like I said, this code is almost exactly what he's got going on. I changed the color. I'm working with uh, green ball that I wanted to use. So when I set my numbers, I set them 35 to 55. If you look at the hue values, you got 45 here, and it's a lighter green than 45. So I figure somewhere between 35 and 55 would be good. And so that's what I did. And then because it's a little bit light color, I left the saturation at 50 for the low, and the value for, I left that at 100 like Paul did. And anyhow, that's what we got going on. So like I said, exactly what Paul did. One thing I did do, I saw Paul was moving his windows, and I tried to do the CV2 move window thing that we can do on the PC to put your windows in the right spots over there. But that doesn't seem to work very well on the Raspberry Pi. It kind of just moves it just a little and just sits it in the middle. No matter how big a number you put in there, it doesn't keep moving it any farther over. I'm not sure why that is, but maybe somebody can figure it out and let me know. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get it running. And like I said, I'm gonna have to do some frame management here. This is my object window. I'll bring it down a little bit. And this is the mask. Leave that up at the top. All right, so we're gonna bring in the green ball. And works pretty good. So at this point, this code's ready to go. When we add, he said he's going to add track bars next week. So when we were doing the AI for everyone, he didn't get into this, but uh, I actually I also ended up with an AI robot platform that I was working on, and I got pretty far into the weeds on that and found some other stuff that I thought. The track bars are fine, but you'll find out next week that it's a lot of code. Each one of them has several lines of code that you have to associate with it and everything. And then you got to adjust them and everything. And I knew I knew that I had found a better way with it on my platform. So figured I'd bring that in and show it to you. I know Paul's not going to probably cover this, so figured this would be a bonus for everybody if they're interested. So it's basically the same code. I added a function up here, and these two lines of code here I added as well. So what we're doing is we're going to be able to click your mouse on the screen, and it's going to pick the color that's there, and it's going to use that, and we use the math up here to calculate our lower bounds and upper bounds that we do. So you have to have this one here as well, even though we don't normally when we don't. IM show is where we name our window that our frame's going to be in, you have to, before you can set the mouse, you got to tell the mouse what frame you want to click in to be effective in. And so you have to name it up here. So this is like pre-naming your window. So anyhow, so this just like I say, it's going to look in for a mouse click in the PyCam window, and then it's going to go do this function color click. And this is my color click up here. So the color click, you bring in an event. The event is either a single click, double click. You can even, I think you can even, mouse moves and everything that you can, has a different one. The single click is a event one. I know that from when I was doing it, but you can look in the documentation to find out what the other events are. And then the X position and Y position is the point on that window frame that you're clicking. So that's what gives us, the point where the color is that we want. And then these are just, you have to include these, but they're just random stuff that we don't use. There's two other arguments that it passes into it that you have to account for when it passes it. It's just whatever this mouse callback passes into it, and that's what it is. So we have to have a few globals. Anything that you're going to interact with in here, you have to call it a global. So we're going to interact with the frame. We're going to interact with the lower bounds and upper bounds. Down here, we started off, just so that we have something to start with, I have the lower bounds and upper bounds the same as I did. It's for the green ball. So it's already set. But whenever if this is called, it actually changes it. So what we're doing here is we are actually creating a single pixel frame by doing this Y position and Y position plus one and X position plus one. You're creating a single pixel frame, and it's whatever the color is at that pixel. And we're just calling it the miniature frame or whatever. And then, of course, even though it's only one pixel, you still got to convert it to the HSV. So I call it MHSV when we convert it. And I just printed out down here in the monitor just to see what HSV color we got. And then we just, we take the H and the S and the V out as separate values so that we can use it down here. So here's where we're setting our, changing our lower bounds and upper bounds. So you're probably not familiar with this, but the np.clip, it works by taking a number and then that's the number it puts in there unless it's out of this range. So we're doing this math. So say if we brought in a number that was 8 or something, H was equal to 8. If we have H minus 15, that's going to be a -7, but it's going to keep it in, it's going to clip it to somewhere between 0 and 179. And so it keeps it in bounds. It's just a way of doing that. And we do that for each of them. And we're subtracting the 15 here. So whatever color we get up there, like I think the green was, oh, I forget. I think it was like 35 or 40 or whatever. So it's going to be the upper bound. So if I clicked on a green, it would be, let's say 40. And this is going to be 25. And then I think these are like in the 200s. So it's going to subtract 200 from it. So, I mean, 60 from it. So it might be 140 or something like that. And same way, this is probably close to 250. So it's going to subtract to 40. And then on the upper bounds, we're adding a range to it. So now we have uh, this 15. So let's bring up our color wheel again. So, all right. So I'm pretty sure, like I said, my green ball, this green ball falls somewhere in here, and it's 40. And so it's going to accept colors as the light changes a little bit. It's going to accept anything from 25, so almost yellow, to 50, or if it's 40, it's going to be 55. So it might be up somewhere in this area. So you're actually taking a 30-degree, or yeah, it's 15 and 15, 30, but that's going to be a whatever your slice of that pie is, and you're taking out a slice of that pie. So anything that falls in this range here is going to be good. So that's why we do a minus and a plus. So it just creates a range around whatever that H number that we got from whatever that pixel that we clicked on. And then, like I say, the saturation, it was minus 60 to plus 60. Pretty much they're going to get clipped every time, because almost you'll see when we're picking these, that the S and the V are almost always in the 200 range. So when we add the 60 to it, I'm not printing this out, but you can just imagine that, it's going to be 255 is the top number, because you're not going to be able to add 60 to it. But we just put that in there just in case we have a real dark object or something that we're doing that we might want to do. But I've when I was doing my robot, these plus and minus 15 here, and plus and minus 60 for both of these seem to work really well. So just using them here too, and you'll see that they do work fairly well. So let's see. What else do I need to tell you? So, like I said, it just calculates that, and so then, like I say, this is happening. I'm not sure whether this is a thread, or because I think it happens exactly when you click it, so it may be a thread, but this upper bounds and lower bounds being global, they just get passed to it. So the next time through the while true, when it goes down here to get your lower bounds and upper bounds, it's going to have the updated value, not these values in there. And other than that, it works the same way as the other one. So let's get it working. So like I said, right now it's hard coded with that green value in there right now. So we're going to start off with that. So bring in the green. And then, like I said, it's working exactly like the other one did. So you can see I got a whole lot of light here, almost too much light. It's got where the shine is right there in the top of it. Oh, where's it at? Oh no, right there where the light shines on it. It just too much closer to white, and it doesn't pick it up. So anyhow, well, we can set that one down. So I don't have bears like Charlotte, but I got lots of balls. So anyhow, so now we got an orange one, and like I say, it doesn't pick it up because it doesn't know that color. But we can go in here and use our mouse button, and you want to click on a spot, and now you got it. So pick that color up. You can see it didn't quite get it good. So if you got a problem with it, maybe not being fully thing, you can click it again and get a better, just a slightly different color, and it might work better. So anyhow, and this is a lot easier clicking on a color than it is moving those track bars. You guys are going to find out there's a lot of coding in those track bars when you get to them. So we had the green and the orange. So we got a pink one here to do too. So we got a pink one. So it doesn't show up as an orange. So we know that. But we can click on it. And it showed up. Like I say, as I move it farther away from the light, you can see that it actually isn't getting as much color. So we can click on it again, and now it's much better. Of course, now it's kind of picking up closer to my face color, so you see some of my face coming in there. So maybe we don't want that, so you can just click again. Now my face is out. And we got a pretty good color there. All right. So one more thing I can do, I just happen to be wearing a hoodie and it's very blue. So I can make myself disappear. I am the invisible man. All right. So that's my homework for this week. Even though Paul didn't give us any, I figured I'd do it. So enjoying the way Paul's bringing these lessons along now. And it's been a while since I did the AI for everyone. So it's good to get the refresher course and go over it again. And maybe it'll stick a little longer this time. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Have a great day, everybody.